Bastion Market Daily Live Forex Market Outlook by Trader Plato. Introduction. The purpose of the market outlook is for us all to have an elite mastery of the Forex market to an advanced level. The Forex market is a decentralized market that runs 24/7 from Mondays to Fridays. It has a market capitalization of approximately $8 trillion daily. Dominant and non-dominant market participants. At the top and in the middle of the hierarchy, we have the dominant market participants. That is the central banks and the large financial institutions. At the bottom, we have the non-dominant market participants. Those are the retail traders. In a nutshell, the dominant market participants make up of 95% of the market participants, while the remaining 5% are the non-dominant market participants. Those are the retail traders. This is according to research and data from the Bank of International Settlement, the Bank for Central Banks. Market mechanics. Market mechanics is a unique hybrid trading strategy that utilizes technical and fundamental constants to generate accurate trading signals. Power of 3, AMD chronological order. On Fridays, we have the accumulation phase. On Mondays, we have the manipulation phase. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we have the distribution phase. Therefore, we do not trade on Fridays and Mondays, as these are the accumulation and manipulation phase of the market. Power of 3, AMD chronological order. The Asian session is the accumulation phase, the London session is the manipulation phase, and the New York session is the distribution phase. So we do not trade the Asian session, as this is the accumulation phase, but we are allowed to trade the London session since it sometimes overlaps with the New York session. Power of 3, candlestick pattern order. Unique candlestick reveal mass psychology that symbolizes the power of 3, the accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Below are the images of the candlestick showcasing the mass psychology and movement of the market. We have the bullish and the bearish candlestick patterns. Liquidity and trap zones. All the market concerns about is liquidity and nothing else. Liquidity is basically points in the chart where majority of orders are pending to be filled. Thus, liquidity is the energy of the market. Without liquidity, the market will not move. These zones are as follows: yearly high and low, monthly high and low, weekly high and low, daily high and low, swing high and low. To the charts. To begin with, let us focus on this black cursor, as this will serve as the hand of our tutor while we are learning. As we are all aware of, if we have been paying attention, that in the market mechanics, we focus on liquidity and trap zones. Let us take less than a minute to explain candlestick. As you can see, price consolidating within this range and forming a cluster of white candles. These white candles signify selling pressure. On the other hand, as you can see, price rallying up, creating series of lower highs and higher highs. These green candles signify buying pressure. Meanwhile, a candle that is neither green nor white, like this candle, it signifies indecision in the market. Let us be aware that there are 3 types of analysis. We have the fundamental analysis, which is the study of political news, economic news, and events that directly influences the movement of price. The second type of analysis is the technical analysis, which is the study of trends and turning points in the market. And the third type of analysis is the sentimental analysis, which is the analysis that involves the behaviors of traders and how traders feel about the direction of the market. All these analyses are complementary to each other. Technical analysis is as important as fundamental analysis, as technical analysis gives us an insight into the market sentiment. So now we are going to be dissecting all these analyses. Beginning from the fundamental analysis, we should know that today is a Monday and Mondays is a no trade day. However, if you must trade, trade with caution. Now let us move to the technicals. There is no perfect analysis in the market, as each and every analysis is nothing but the perspective of the operator analyzing the charts. So here we are going to be engaging the market mechanics. However, the market mechanics allows us to view the market from the perspective of the buyer and the perspective of the seller, leaving no stone unturned and having flexibility in our analysis, and devoiding our analysis from analysis paralysis. So you are going to be very straightforward in analyzing the chart. Now on Euro USD, the first half of the opening of the Asian session, we can see the buyers attempting to take control. However, a classic AMD pattern plays out, creating a support. Nevertheless, this is a fake support. There are rules that allows us to recognize a fixed support, and this is taught exclusively in the mentorship. The second half of the Asian session, we can see price consolidating within the range of the opening and buyers maintaining their dominance. However, by the opening of the London session and later in the day, we expect price to spike down and break this low. On USD CNH, at the opening of the first half of the Asian session, we can see the buyers attempting to take control and breaking the high of Friday. Furthermore, by the opening of the second half, we can see buyers pushing price higher. So in accordance to the market mechanics, we can expect a buy to sell here. Keep this concept in mind, that the market buys to sell and sells to buy. So since we can see this buy candle here near the high of the day, this is an accumulation. These are accumulation of buy orders. So we can expect a manipulation for buyers to buy more, then a distribution to the downside. So these buyers are trapped here. The buyers in this candle, all their orders are trapped, and we can expect a manipulation to the upside to trap more buyers, then a distribution to the downside. Not more than 2 candles or 3 if the case may be. However, 1 or 2 candles are stronger, then the US dollar would weaken against the CNH. However, since today is a day of manipulation, if that plays out, we can also expect this resistance to be broken further. On USD card, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see sellers trying to push price down. However, they failed to break the low of Friday. And the second half of the Asian session, the sellers accumulate within the range of the opening. Following from this, we can expect a sell to buy, and if that will happen, the low of the day will be raided to manipulate more sellers to the downside, then a distribution to the upside. Nevertheless, if that plays out, we still expect this support to be broken, since fundamentally today is a no trade day. On gold, at the opening of the Asian session, the buyers attempt to push price up. Nevertheless, they fail. as the sellers take control and push price lower, breaking the low of Friday. And the second half of the Asian session, the buyers yet attempt to push price up. However, they fail to break the high of Friday. Following from this, we can expect a buy to sell. Nevertheless, this is an impulsive candle closing near the high of the day. However, in the market, anything can happen. So if a buy to sell is to occur, then the high of the day will be spiked, manipulating more buyers, and the manipulation further down to distribute and push gold lower. However, since today is a day of manipulation, not much is expected from the market. On silver, the first half of the opening of the Asian session, we can see sellers dominating the market, pushing low and breaking the low of Friday. And the second half, we can see buyers attempting to take control. Nevertheless, they fail to break the high of Friday. Following from this, we expect a buy to sell. Nevertheless, since this is a long bullish candle, a buy to sell could rarely occur. Nevertheless, in the market, anything can happen. If that will happen, then the high of the day will be spiked to manipulate more buyers, then a distribution to the downside. Not more than 1 or 2 candles or 3 candles if the case may be. On GJ, looking at the liquidity zones, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see the buyers attempting to push price up. Nevertheless, they fail, and the low of Friday is broken. And we can see an indecision candle, buyers attempting to push price up, but they fail to break the high of Friday. So by the opening of the London session, we expect a buy to sell. So we expect a manipulation to the upside, manipulating more buyers, then a distribution to the downside, breaking the structure lower for this to sell further. As said earlier, since today is a day of manipulation fundamentally, so we do not expect much, as the sentiment of most traders will also be dull. This is just the market opening. On DXY, the first half of the opening of the Asian session, you can see buyers attempting to take charge. Nevertheless, they fail to break the high of Friday. By the second half of the Asian session, the buyers broke the high of Friday. Nevertheless, this is a manipulation to trap more buyers to the upside. So the buyers in this candle have their orders trapped. Then we can expect what? We expect further distribution down for a sell candle to form by the London Open to further trap below the buyers that are here, as most buyers here will set their stops below the low of the day. So by the opening of the London session, we expect those stops to be raided, since more buyers are trapped in this high. So mind you, when you come to the market and you just see a buy or a sell candle, you don't just start buying or selling because you see that the market is buying or selling. Each and every candle carved in the market is carefully engineered and has a purpose. So you must trade with purpose. On GBP USD, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see buyers attempting to take control. Nevertheless, they fail to break the high of Friday. And the second half, you can see sellers attempting to push price lower. Nevertheless, they fail to break the low of the opening of the Asian session. Following from this, we expect a sell to buy. We expect the low of the day to be raided to trap in more sellers and for markets to push up. However, since today is a day of manipulation, not much is expected from the market. On BTC USD, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see sellers attempting to take control, pushing price lower, breaking the low of Friday. And the second half, we can see price pushing lower further. Following from this, we expect the sell to buy. So by the opening of the London session, we expect more sellers to be trapped and manipulated for the market to distribute to the upside. However, if that plays out, this will still be a weak support, since fundamentally today is a day of manipulation. So days of manipulation, no strong support or strong resistance is formed by the market. The market is highly chaotic on days like this. Nevertheless, even if the market is chaotic, that doesn't mean that technicals wouldn't play out. That is why fundamental analysis is important as well. On NZD USD, at the opening of the Asian session, we can see sellers pushing price down, breaking the low of Friday. And the second half, you can see buyers pushing price up, breaking the high of the day and creating a new high of the day, creating a new level. Following from this, we expect a buy to sell. So by the opening of the London session, we expect sellers to manipulate more buyers further up to trap them and for the market to distribute to the downside. However, if this plays out, this will also be a weak resistance. Plan your trade, trade your plan, and most importantly, manage your risk and emotions. Have a peaceful week ahead.